Hello my friends, I am back with the last plan with me of the year. I'm super excited about this one, but before we get started, I'll take you through the month of November. So this month's setup has been my favorite so far. I especially love this journaling spread because I pasted some pictures that I took this month, and overall I just had plenty of space for everything that I needed, so I really enjoyed it. I always get questions about how come I don't have more weeklies, and the reason is because I don't always find them necessary. Sometimes I prefer making checklists like this one here, for example, so whatever works that specific week. Alright, that was that. Now onto the cover page for December. Since you guys have asked a lot about calligraphy and my tips for beginners, I thought I'd take you through my whole process for this cover page. So the first thing that I recommend is to start off with a pencil, and I know you probably see a lot of people going in straight with a brush marker, but that just takes a lot of practice to get it right, so it's just better to start off with a light sketch, and this way you'll be able to tweak any letters that don't look right, or you can start over if something is off center. And if you need some help with what the letters should look like, you can always look at some references for inspiration. Once you're happy with that, you want to take your marker of choice. I'm using the Crayola Super Tips, and I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm literally just tracing over the lines. Then I'm just going back and I'm adding one more line to the downstrokes, which creates that calligraphy effect. And after that, I'm taking my gel pen and I'm adding some shadows, which are basically just simple lines on the right side of every letter. Sometimes I also like to take a pencil and add even more shadows, which makes the letters look 3D and it really makes them pop out. To add some extra details, I'm going over with my white gel pen to add some highlights to the letters, and I feel like this really finishes off this type of look. Alright, now that that's done, I'm just starting to have fun with it, and I'm adding some random doodles of berries and stars and just trying to make it look more Christmassy. And again, this month I decided to make the cover page last because I usually start getting all my ideas as I'm setting everything up, so by the time I get to the cover page, I already know what I want to do. So that's kind of backwards, but it works for me. So I guess I went with winter berries as my theme for December, and the red and green color combination definitely screams Christmas to me, which makes me really happy because December has got to be my favorite month of the year. It's where I get to see my whole family and friends, and so I wanted to make my bullet journal all festive. For the monthly log, I'm starting off with adding the title, and I'm using the exact same technique that I've used for the cover page, and then I'm just writing down the days of the month, leaving 2 spaces to write events or important reminders for each day. I found that the standard calendar layouts don't always work out great for me because there's just too much space, especially when I also use my weeklies. So I prefer this type of layout because everything's just more compact and I rarely have more than 2 events in one day, so it's actually plenty of space for me. On the next page, I'm doing the same as I've done in my previous setups. It's where I keep a master to-do list for the whole month, and I split it up into personal and business. I try to keep this list for really important tasks, and then I break them up into steps in my weekly spreads, so that way I don't run out of space here too quickly. The habit tracker stayed pretty much the same this month because I really liked it, so I'm doing the horizontal layout again. It's kind of divided into 3 sections. The first one is just my regular habit tracker, then I have my sleep tracker, and then this month I've added one more, which is going to be for watering my plants. So I got a bunch of plants when I moved, and I really don't want to kill them, so I made this tracker just to basically remind myself to water them, and hopefully it's gonna become a habit. Next to it, I'm adding the expense tracker, and again, I don't need a whole page for this because I only track bigger purchases. And then at the bottom is my budget review section, which I found super helpful. It's basically where I sit down probably almost every week and I check all my accounts and stuff to get an idea where I stand financially. So even if you don't track your expenses, I think a budget review could be really, really useful. Alright, so for the brain dump page, I wanted to show you guys a cool trick in case you can't draw or don't have any inspiration. You can actually make your own stickers and have them blend perfectly with your journal. So I first went on to Storyblocks. You guys have heard me talk about them because I've used them a lot in my previous journal. They have a huge library of photos, vectors, and illustrations. And what I love about them is that you can download the pictures and edit them to your heart's desire because they also include the editable files. So that is how I was able to turn this illustration into a sticker. And if you want to use this yourself, Storyblocks actually partnered with me on this video and they're giving you guys a 7-day free trial. So really take advantage of it. You will find the link at the top of the description box below. I wanted the sticker to blend in with my notebook really nicely, so what I did is I actually took out a page from another dotted notebook and printed the image onto it. So this way the paper is the same color, plus it has the dots, so you can really match it up and you won't be able to tell that it's a sticker, which is a great tip if you want to make them yourself. I also decided to color it in myself to make it match my theme, and then I went in and added some more decorations to the side. I felt like it just needed something more. I really love the way this turned out, and this illustration from Storyblocks was actually the one that inspired the whole theme for the month. The next spread is something that's not going to be useful to a lot of you. It's a checklist for my videos, but of course you can always adapt what I'm doing to something that's relevant to you, or of course you can just skip it altogether. Oh, and by the way guys, this was the last plan with me that you've had to wait for, because now that I've finally moved, I have everything ready, my whole setup and stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited to be able to start making more videos for you guys. The next few pages are going to be for journaling, and usually I do between 1 to 4 pages, but this time I decided to leave 8 pages for it. And that might seem like a lot, but since it's the holiday season, I know I'm going to be taking a bunch of pictures throughout the month and I really want to paste them on, so that's going to take up a lot more space than usual. So I wanted to leave enough room for writing and pictures, but I still wanted to add a little something to each spread, so I'm just doing borders around them and adding a bunch of doodles and stuff. Alright, so while I work on that, and because the rest of the spreads are going to be pretty self-explanatory, I wanted to answer some of your questions for the rest of the video. So if you just want to watch me plan, then feel free to mute me, otherwise I will get right into it. So I asked you guys on Instagram to send me some questions and you definitely delivered. A lot of you wanted to know how long I've been bullet journaling and who inspired me to start. So I think it has been about 1.5 years since I've started, and I found out about it through YouTube actually. I stumbled across one of Alexandra Plan's videos and I was instantly hooked, especially because I was already making my own planners on the computer and I used to print them out. And so when I watched the video, my mind was kind of blown because I thought, you know, making it by hand would be 10 times better because you can change it up whenever you want and you can literally do anything you want with it. So yeah, I started and I was hooked and I've been doing it ever since. Another question was whether I'm going to show you guys the first pages of this bullet journal, so just my whole setup, but actually the first few pages are still blank. I just never got around to setting it up, so I decided since this year is almost over, I'm just going to wait to set it up for 2018, and I'm probably going to film that and show you guys how I've set it up. I also wanted to address a comment that I see all the time on my videos, which is, I want to start a bullet journal, but I don't know how to draw. And seeing that kind of makes me sad because even though I really enjoy making it look nice, the purpose of a bullet journal is to be functional and to help you with productivity and personal development. At least that's what I think. So robbing yourself of that opportunity to use this tool just because you don't think you can make it pretty is a huge waste, especially since, you know, you can always use stickers and washi tape and all that stuff, and you know, you also don't have to show your bullet journal to anybody, so you don't have to prove anything to anyone. So stressing about the way it looks is just not worth it. So I really hope that if you've been holding back for whatever reason, that you give it a shot. Another popular question is which notebook I recommend, and I've got to say, from all the notebooks that I've ever had, my favorite one by far has been the one that I'm using right now, which is from Dingbats. It's around £15, so it's not the most affordable one out there, but I definitely think it's worth the money, and it's gonna last you for a few months or even a whole year. So yeah, it's just the one that I recommend the most. What made me start YouTube? Well, I actually put off making videos for the longest time because I was kind of terrified. I don't know why, but I received a ton of encouragement on Instagram to make videos and show you guys my process. So that was a huge part of the reason why I was able to overcome my fear. And I'm so happy that I did it, and I'm super grateful for all your encouragement. It really means a lot to me. Some of you have been curious about the equipment that I use to film my videos, which, by the way, I always link in the description. I actually use my phone to film, which is the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, but I think it's safe to say that all smartphones have really good cameras nowadays. But I personally think that a huge part of the image quality also comes from really good lighting. And again, I will have everything that I used linked down below. Are you ready for your drunk plan with me challenge? So one of you in the comments suggested that I do a plan with me where I get drunk and see what comes out of it. And I think that is freaking hilarious, and I'm totally down for doing it. Just not sure when, but that's definitely on my to-do list. It cracked me up when I read it, and I just have to do it. And if you have any more challenges for me, let me know in the comments. I think it would be so fun to watch. So yeah. All right, and a couple more questions. Let's see, my favorite color is turquoise, and my favorite food is anything with a bunch of carbs, so like pizza and pasta. And if I could put like some pasta on pizza and then put another pizza on top, so it's like a pasta pizza cake, yeah, that would be my favorite food. All right, and last question, which monthly cover has been my favorite and why? That's a really tough one because I've really enjoyed making all of them, but if I had to choose, I would probably say it's the one I did in August where I did the clouds theme. It was so easy to make, yet it still looked cute, so yeah. But my favorite setup so far as a whole is actually this one, which you get to see now in this final flip through. Alright you guys, we are finally done with setting up for December. I know it's been quite an extensive setup, but I'm really excited to start using it. As always, don't forget to check out the description for links to all of the supplies that I used. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do, and I can't wait to see you next time. Have an awesome holiday season, guys. Bye!